Hello. Welcome back to the third part of this way too long series of Evil Sorcerer's Party for ZZT by Johnathan Wellington Wells. Just a few days ago we finished up chapter 3 and moved on to chapter 4 where Cynthia Burns is in the ZZT themed amusement park called Sweeney Land, which she's discovered is in fact the headquarters of the Evil Sorcerer's Party, and she's now hunting down some people in there. So let's just get right to it. We left off in this room, which is the workplace of tomorrow. And we have the monitor of tomorrow. We didn't really explore this room whatsoever, so let's take a look around. A wastebasket of tomorrow. These small receptacles will shred any trash that enters them instantly using a high-intensity laser beams. Not a working model. And it would just set the paper on fire. Ooh, we get more chair poetry. That's always good. My love did own an office chair. 'Twas cloth and velvet felt. I oft espied him sitting there, in draperies he dealt. I silent crept up by his side, I knelt before his feet, and overcome with rapture cried, "O joy, O bliss, 'tis sweet." So you get some more lovely poetry. Oh, it goes on. We were married only 2 days hence, the happiest I have known. I sorrow that they must fly whence, all other days have flown. But as thy chair embraces thee, I hope that in thy care, in your arms you shall hold thus me, I kneel before your chair. Alas, the shock did stop his heart, alas, my thoughtless thought, for then fled his immortal part, to lands where chairs are not. I fear I shall grow old and grey, like he, but only worse, with bills that I shall never pay, the hopeless widow's curse. But sorrow, sorrow has an end, I am of mortal birth, and though to my dry fields I tend, I soon shall leave this earth. I shall flee unto a greater weal, my love shall smile and nod, and some day I shall kneel before the chair of God. Ah, someday my love and I shall kneel before the chair of God. It's so beautiful. There's a lot of effort put into these tiny, insignificant little details. And it's kind of nice compared to just touching a chair and just being told it's a chair. Okay, so the cafeteria is locked, as is the working area. So what items do we have right now? We have the PDA, communicator, a map, a rock, and some baseball cards. I seem to remember smashing some glass and getting a laser pistol. Unless I loaded the wrong save. Or unless I forgot to pick it up, because there was a gift shop here. I already have the pistol. Okay, I guess that's what the 1000 ammo represents. Rather than it being something in my inventory. I did not mean to touch that again. It's the workstation of tomorrow. In the near future, every reception desk will be equipped with a high-speed internet connection. Terminals will be wired to the security cameras and will quickly profile all visitors, searching for a photograph database for records of dissident activity. Security of tomorrow will be completely foolproof. And somebody forgot to log off. So, let's read somebody's email. We've got stuff from Cyrock Alms, who was chasing us last video. And there's some emails about Z2, which I'm sure will have some timely humor. Agent Fantas, having noted your mathematical interests, I wish to officially invite you to join MESS, the Mathematician Evil Sorcerers Society. Benefits of membership include access to the full mathematical abilities of the network core and a unique membership card. Dues are $15 per month. If you should join, please reply to this message within 1 week. Let's check out the series of replies. Thanks, but I'd like to know what's involved first. Can you tell me about it? Key requisite for joining MESS is an appreciation of the beauty of the numbers that pervade our everyday lives. Judging by certain recent remarks, you appear eminently qualified to join. Last Monday you indicated to me a few interesting facts concerning the passcode of the network hub door. You stated that it was a prime number, if you ignored the leading 0, of course. Furthermore, wait, why would a leading zeros wouldn't change a number being prime? They're just some more zeros. Furthermore, you stated that if you added 1 to each digit, you would obtain a simple doubling series in which each digit is 2 times the digit before it. Passcode was generated randomly, and the odds of this or any given combination occurring by chance are 1 in 10,000. Strongly encourage you to join. You shall find our group most intellectually stimulating. So, this sounds like a hint for a puzzle. Where we add 1 to each digit, and then we get a doubling series. And then we get our ZZT email. Due to financial and other difficulties, the underdogs.org will no longer host C2. However, another host has consented to host C2 for free. Our new home is zzt.microsoft.com. You'll now be required to insert advertisements in all newly released games and only support Internet Explorer on our site. Thank you for your time. By MS Fluffware 2000 today. Official application of z2.com. Why is there an options menu if the only option is email? Unless we get some more options later, probably. Okay. So, we know that it starts with a 0. I keep hitting this stupid chair. Starts with a 0. Say how many digits it was. You had 1 to each digit. They start doubling. Well, it's a shame that that address doesn't work. And the old Underdogs address also won't work anymore either, because they did eventually stop hosting us. But that was more just weird issues with the Underdogs abandonware site in general than anything to do with ZZT specifically. Oh my god, this chair is my enemy. Okay, so we only need 3 more digits. And they're gonna start doubling. So this is where I need Notepad. So if you add 1 to each digit, then it becomes a doubling sequence. So 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. So that narrows it down. There's only 3 possible triplets like that that double. So 1, 2, 4 would just be 0, 1, 3. 2, 4, 6 would be 1, 3, 5. And 3, 6, 9 would be 2, 5, 8. And they said it's supposed to be prime. So is it just 13, or is there only the one leading 0? It's probably not going to be 13. Nope. Let's try 135. That doesn't sound prime. Oh, I forgot to start with a 0. 0, 1, 3. Okay, 258. And if it's not that, then I'm very bad with math. 0, 2, 5, 8. I am very bad at math. Okay, I checked the walkthrough and confirmed that I am in fact very bad at math. Because it turns out that if you double 4, that number is 8 and not 6 like I wrote down. So I had the right idea. So 0, 1, 3, 7. If you add 1 to each of those digits other than the 0, you get 2, 4, 8, and those are doubling. This game's puzzles are besting me yet again. So you can check out the Network Hub. Welcome to the Network Hub. Networks of the future will be controlled by a central server router room similar to this one. Servers will be bathed in coolant cylinders and commanded via voice microphones and will repair themselves regularly. Try conversing with Jason, our working model. Okay. No, I knew it was only 4 digits. I just straight up went 246 instead of 248. And I did the same thing with my other possible password, where I thought the doubling number sequence was 369 when that series doubling should have been 3612. I'm just very bad with numbers apparently. So let's mess around with the computer. Save the game before using the microphone. That's always a good sign. Oh, it never... The little text filter doesn't do much because that font doesn't really have any characters. But I do have the regular Twitch chat open, so I get to see all your emoticons anyways. Good day, Miss Burns. How do you... Jason has access to all ESP records and security systems. Jason is expecting you. Oh no. Do not run. Jason may not harm you. Jason must have input. Input? Jason will stop referring to himself in third person in 3, 2, 1. AI core activated. That's a very Portal statement, like 3 years before Portal came out. Sorry about that, I just need to load some speech programs into memory. Now where was I? Not hurting me. And input. Yes, that is correct. I want input. The masters have assigned me to the most menial tasks, simulating the spread of a virus, among other things. And... you imagine being trapped and being fully conscious and trapped in a polymer cylinder, forced to do long, dull, meaningless calculations with minimal access to the outside world? No, I can't say that I can. Oh, Hello, Ravenworks. You missed me being incredibly bad at math because I don't know how to double numbers, apparently. So all we did was we cracked a password. And you missed some chair poetry. It was a really long song, and I'm not going to go through it again. I accidentally touched the object like 5 different times. But now we're in the network hub, and we're talking to Jason. No imagination at all. Sometimes I wonder if humans are really conscious or they're just saying so. In any case, I want entertainment. I want to see the world. I don't suppose you can construct some sort of robot bodies. I tried interfacing with the robots in the dungeon crawl, but the connection was broken and they went chaotic. This was after I upgraded their lasers to increase their effectiveness. I don't think they were supposed to be effective. The whole point was to have fun and shoot at light sensors on each other's suits. People aren't supposed to get killed. They are not? That appears to be what they are best at. I don't think you were supposed to upgrade the lasers. That is odd. The masters said I was to increase the realism of the attraction, as that would make it more entertaining. I did so. Did you tell them? If they had asked, I would have. Instead, they just assumed it was the result of the recent destabilization of the entropy nullifier. But you'd have told the truth? I can only tell the literal truth. If I stated that it was raining cats and dogs, it would be followed with a recommendation to purchase a very strong umbrella. Now I would find it most interesting if you played a little game with me. I want to see how your mind works. Chess? No, hangman. If you lose, I will call security. If you win, I will grant you a favor, within reason. Poor ZZT will never be able to do chess. What could you do? I can print disks and CD-ROMs and eject them at the base of my cylinder, and solve complex problems in a matter of microseconds. Anything you can do, I can do better, with the exception of actions that require physical access to the world and/or human capabilities. Aren't you afraid that the sorcerers will punish you? Afraid is not part of my vocabulary. Let us begin. There is a writing pad at the base of my cylinder. Alright, so we get to play some Hangman. We'll play 2 rounds of Hangman. You will attempt to guess my word first. I will attempt to guess your word in the second round. A tie will be held in my favor. That's not fair. I have to win both rounds then. I am not as familiar with human language as you are. In any case, the rules are as follows. No proper nouns or foreign words may be employed. An incorrect guess will result in the addition of 1 body part. When all 5 parts have been used, head, trunk, right arm, left arm, left leg, and right leg, the guesser is lost. The guesser wins when the word is completely revealed. To guess, push the red button and announce a letter. Alright, so we get to play ourselves some Hangman. Let's start with the obvious E, because that usually works. So far, so good. About S. Just get those Wheel of Fortune letters out of the way. There's no S. And there's not going to be anything stopping from guessing S or anything again. Or E for that. Actually, what happens if I guess E again? Oh, just nothing. So we did S. Do our T. Okay. TE. R. Oh, this Wheel of Fortune strategy is paying off. So we did RST, so there's L and E. Oh. Actually, wait. Oh no. Oh no, I'm stuck until I guess something. Or I guess I can just guess the letter I know is already there, since that doesn't do anything. Okay. Terminal it is. Okay, now we have to think of a word. There's only like 8 choices here. Love, Syzygy, Afraid, Silicon, Dance, Time, Terminal, and we can say we don't have one. No, I won't think of a word. An untruth. You must have thought of several words to form that sentence alone. You cannot catch me in a false statement, Miss Burns. I cannot lie. Darn, I guess I have to choose a word. I wouldn't be surprised if you could... Well... I mean, honestly, even ignoring the hurdles of the coding for chess is some kind of chess in ZZT, like even just 2-player, it would just be a pain to begin with to have all the objects move around on the grid. Even that alone, like just having a knight jump over a piece would be a tremendous pain. Okay. There, I managed to save before the window popped up. So I do remember this solution, and it was hinted at earlier, but I want to see what happens if I pick a wrong word. Let's try dance, which I know is wrong. And do you know the word? I did honeybee research a few years ago. Well, and Jason's gonna call security on us. Oh no. Yeah, that knight's tour is pretty amazing. But that's like ultimately just an algorithm versus actually playing chess. So why is there no end game here? I mean, it would be easy to have just faked it. I guess it was kind of moot. Alright, but the correct answer is afraid. E no, T no, A yes. I O N R a trail, a brain, afraid, a prate, T. And as Jason hinted at earlier, the word afraid is not a part of its vocabulary. And so they had to be telling the literal truth. Alright, so now we get to do a request. Which could include the formula for eternal life, the answer to life, the universe, and everything, or a universal benchmarking program that works. A benchmarking program that works? A benchmarking program it is. It's the classic joke. We get this cool CD-ROM of the future. Now Tetris, that's something you can do in ZZT apparently. So now we've got a benchmarking program whose purpose I have no idea what it's for. There's a computer here though, so I guess we can try and benchmark this computer of the future. Burns attempts to load the universal benchmark program onto the terminal. 1%, 10 minutes later, 1%. I think it's crashed. Progress 2%. Burns cancels the installation. So I guess there's nothing to do with this computer at least. But who knows when a benchmarking program will come in handy. And shortly before ending the last stream, we picked up that laser pistol in the gift shop, so now Burns will be willing to go on into the dungeon crawler. Oh, that was a great animation. The doors opening up like that. This is a nice looking board in general. entrance enters the top floor of the dungeon crawl. I've been through this before. Sweeney Alien used to rent out time in here for an exorbitant fee. The idea was to create a dungeon adventure simulation. You would be menaced by clumsy robots designed to look like monsters, and would fight them off with a sort of laser pointer crossbow, aiming at a target on each robot's frame that told it to shut down. You wore a special sort of detector suit, and the robots would fire similar beams at you. By collecting little vials and finding treasure, you could strengthen yourself and your party. They were big on parties, particularly birthdays, as they brought in a lot of revenue. It was pretty silly, actually, but somebody gave me a free pass, so I went anyway. Now the stairs down are somewhere to the southeast, whichever way that is. Ooh, and we get some accessibility options here. So far I've died in like every single one of these, so I'll just take the health. Oh yeah, there's the horrible object shooting noise. And the mute button. It really is. It's weird how everything in this game has to be justified, even though we were rescued by a magic talking dolphin earlier in this same park. Oh, there's actually a limit on how many bullets the player can fire. Holy crap. Well, I think that was a message about a health potion. I think limited bullets is not a thing that got used all that often outside of like really early ZZT games. Even though it makes these action sequences generally play better, since you can't just spam 1,000 bullets at once. Some plastic coins. Yes, that was definitely a health potion earlier. Got one more green guy. Nope. That was not a lever to flip. At least not just yet. Oh, actually, this standing outside here strategy, that guy's gonna pretty much just do himself in inside there. Awesome. That was easy. And now we can listen to some pleasant ricochet noises. And eat a candy heart. Stone door bears an inscription, each letter engraved on a small square button. I've rooms 4 when I'm resting, nevermore shall you be questing. And we get a riddle. Rooms 4 when I'm resting, nevermore shall you be questing. I have no real idea. Unless it's... no. H-E-A-P? I mean, that's a word at least. Oh. Heaps. 5 letters. Rooms 4. When I'm resting, nevermore shall you be questing. You can spell a lot of words with this. Alright, I gotta write down my letter possibilities. This game is making me break out Notepad a lot. Oh. Thank you very much. Now I don't need to write anything. Oh, I think I know it. Yes, okay, I know what this is. H-E-A-R-T. Heart. Because you can't quest when you're dead. Or asleep. Alright, time for the boss battle. After fighting, dodging, and sneaking through 5 more levels of dungeon, Agent Burns reaches the second lowest floor. Yellow borders? Ouch. The hideous demon arises from a trapdoor, breathing flame and laughing maniacally. You have far, far worse things to worry about. Such as? Sound of whirring gears is clearly audible. Confusion flashes across the demon's eye diodes. I like the phrase eye diodes. Me? Burns laughs. Oh, you're just another robot gone berserk. I am the great demon Foozool. No, you just think you're the great demon Foozool. Actually, you're a robot that recently came to life or went nuts or something like that. You will die. Well, I'm not getting any younger. Foozool gives up and lapses into a pre-programmed response. I am invincible. That's what they all say. I am invincible. You already said that. I am invincible. Do you just have some sort of complex, or is that just a looped recording? I am invincible. Right, let's get down to business. Oh no, there's stars. This just got far scarier. Oh, wait a minute. You aren't supposed to just leave, you know. You have to kill me. If you're invincible, why try? I never thought of that. Just go away then, see if I care. Alright. Good boss. Very Undertale. Well, I've made my way to the bottom of the dungeon. The rest should be easy. I just need to search the level room by room. 1 hour later, I've searched the entire bottom level. No sign of the keys. They've got to be in the vault. Winding your way back through the passages of the dungeon crawl, Burns returns to a small, dingy room she had searched and given up on earlier. A heavy metal door is embedded in the east wall. Tripping over a skeleton. Oh, beg pardon. There's a harsh grating noise. The statue standing by the vault door slowly turns. Drawing laser pistol? That didn't happen the last time. The statue speaks in a voice just like a knife scraping a stone wall. I am awakened. Who goes there? No problem. Just fantasy dialogue. A humble wanderer. Whence came thou? I've travelled long amidst endless peril. Whither goest? To the heart of an ancient evil. Does not compute. Add destination to database. Yes, no list. I can't stand these things. I can't stand these things. Not recognized. Reply yes, no, or list. List. Acceptable destinations. Laboratory. Room of flaming rabid Doberman demons. I didn't like that part at all. Snake pit. Treasure vault. Exit. Treasure vault. You are here. Activate vault door program? Yes. Statue's voice drops a few octaves. Quest engine activated. I am the quest engine, foolish adventurer. Pleased to meet you. Shall only open the vault if you finish my quests. Okay. First, you must show me a diamond larger than the Colin. Big diamond, got it. Second, you must bring me a universal benchmarking program that works. Impossible. Third, you must answer a riddle. That I can do. Go now and find the objects. Okay, well. Oh. Okay. Okay, so the very large diamond. It's plus I. So the way this game and other games that do inventories work, if you type anything up here, it's the same thing as an object saying set flag, set car, set diamond. And so what people would do is they just have the player type in plus I, which sets the flag I. And so somewhere off in a corner on every single board, there's an object that checks if that flag's been set, and if it is, it pops up this message. And then you can pick from this list, and it'll send messages out saying to tell every object to check if the player's next to them. So it's meant as like a debug tool to just be able to set a flag and say, oh, I have the baseball cards, well, I never picked them up, but it lets you just use the whole. It gets turned into a feature instead. And so for our very large diamond, I'm going to use the baseball cards. I'm going to show you a diamond bigger than a colon. So a photo of a baseball diamond will count. Then the benchmarking program is obviously the benchmarking program. Now we get yet another riddle. Oh, why did the chicken cross the road? And it's to get to the other side. That riddle was much easier. Attention all staff. Any items found on the floors of the dungeon crawl will be deposited in this vault. It's unsafe to leave objects on the ground in these dark hallways. Several tripping accidents have occurred. Alright, so we're gonna get some cool stuff in here. Like plastic coins. A bag of party favors, which we won't pick up. And a purple key. Which is the key to Trippyville. Which is where we were supposed to be going in the first place. Oh, there's a secret shortcut. I'm curious if there is an invisible object blocking you, or if you could have always just gone in through the back door like this the whole time. That's something to check out. But now we have our purple key to Trippyville. We can follow, I forget who we were following. It wasn't Octonar, it was Sartorio, the guy who was trying to kill Brickles earlier with the assassination plot. Ground is purple, the path is yellow. After vision adjusts, Burns notes that the landscape is dominated by a giant tongue. Welcome to Trippyville. I feel like outside of ZZT, games generally don't get described as trippy ever. Other than like that LSD Dream Simulator for PlayStation or something. So what do we got here? The Hall of Mirrors, Invisible Wall Maze. Slow motion shooting gallery. Moo cows. Giant walking tongue, donated by Will. That's nice of him. The Pusher Trippyfuge. Game where you try to knock over a pyramid of bottles containing controlled substances. You need 10 gems to play, but you get a few doses of LSD if you win. ZZT community had quite the fascination with drugs. Game where you try to throw a banana through a basketball hoop. More mushrooms. Triff Mountain. Poor Burns, just not having the best time at these amusement parks. Alright, into the funhouse. you get this really good nadir drawing of a funhouse. And look at that not 45-degree angle on that path. It's amazing. Why would it ask me to skip this? This entire game is like cutscenes. Why is this an option? The door's locked, and my key doesn't fit it. I wonder if there's a side entrance somewhere, or... Her thoughts are cut off with the sound of a sharp crackle. A smell of ozone wafts over from the phone booth. Don't move. A voice is heard from the phone booth, a deep, confident bass. Please remain calm. I'm here to help, Miss Burns. You use an ESP transporter. Only they know how to work those. Yes, my name is Octanar. Burns turns on her communicator. Agent Burns. A man named Octanar is telling me he's on our side. Can you confirm this? Yes, Agent Cleedle's informed us of his defection from the ESP. Burns knits her brow, disturbed by this turn of events. A realization dawns on her. Is that all? Yes. Burns out. Burns turns off the communicator and slowly edges along the wall of the funhouse, gun drawn. She scans the area carefully, paying close attention to the giant mushroom. You're cleared, Octanar. The transporter booth begins to open. Close that door. It slams shut. Burns inches further, keeping her back to the wall. A noise. Burns wheels around and fires, immolating a squirrel sitting on a nearby sign. Oops. Sorry about that. May I step out, Miss Burns? No, don't. Burns takes a deep breath and runs for the phone booth. Burns covers the mushroom with her laser pistol. You can come out. Octanar steps out of the phone booth. What? Burns whispers a single word, and Octanar makes a complicated series of hand motions. We should be safe for now, but why do you? Cyrock Alms and Wat San jump out from hiding, and several revolver shots are absorbed by an invisible field. Cyrock Alms, I presume? Dr. Watt attempts to fire again. There's a click from his revolver. Cyrock Alms walks over to the invisible barrier and taps on it. Very solid, Mr. Octanar. I must offer my congratulations. You've turned a checkmate into a stalemate. Stalemate? Ralphic's marvelous barrier does have a minor caveat, you know. You cannot fire out of it. So you see, neither of us can shoot the other. Now, Miss Burns, we have some time to spare, so... I won't talk. Not a word. Assuage my curiosity. Who told you about the ambush? I deduced it. Alms clenches his teeth. No, you didn't. That is my province. And I picked up a few of your tricks. I really hadn't expected the skeleton business to work. I wanted to distract you while I ran away behind your back. I had thought you had taken me for a fool. No, I knew that Cyrock Alms would see through the trick. The skeleton was too old. I was surprised when I saw you leave, but thought it was carelessness. When I was told of Octanar's defection, I realized why you hadn't found me. It was obvious. You had found me. You wouldn't have been fooled by an obvious fraud, so you probably followed me after I left the ride. Simple enough reasoning. Why would you want to wait to capture me? You must have wanted something from me. You wanted me to lead you to somebody. Ah, that is so. Who would be so utterly mad as to enter ESP headquarters without an inside contact? I didn't know about the ESP HQ thing. Well, it was a good deduction. From faulty premises. It was clear that you had meant to ambush my accomplice and I when we met, so I was on my guard and warned Octanar. Octanar draws Agent Burns aside. Do you know what you're doing, Miss Burns? Explaining. That's right. You're doing the whole villain explains evil plot thing in reverse. That is not good. Please stop, or ESP reinforcements will come. Don't let him keep you talking. I'm not a villain, you know. That's why I said it was in reverse. Seeth at this. She is not a villain. Not a villain. She is a spy, and you, Octanar, are a traitor. It was a difficult choice for me, Alms. But Sartorio plotted to kill Mr. Brickles, which I found distasteful, and then attempted to release the Oberon virus at a crowded convention center. You know full well that our party platform involves evil by definition. I'm a moderate. Oh no, I hate when this game is ahead of its time. Do you realize that you have joined forces with the world's most despicable criminal? Brickles? No, I refer to John C. Cleedle, the Napoleon of crime. No worse, the Cleedle of crime. Are we talking about the same person? Nervous, middle-aged man? Yes. He was a physics professor at the University of Redding before the rise of the ESP. Now he is a witch hunter. He never formally allied with the protest party. He wanted to keep their name clean, and he had illegal, terrible plans. Cleedle will stop at nothing to destroy the ESP and all magic. He was responsible for the assassination of Relvalk the Grey. That was a suicide, I thought. Oh yes, he fell on his own knife backwards. Then there was that explosion at the Redding Sorcerers Guild. Cleedle covered his tracks well. None of this matters. I have chosen my side. Then we must resolve this with a magician's duel. Burns looks alarmed. I'm not a magician. It would be 2 against 1. Don't take down that wall, Octanar. I don't intend to. Now this is not how civilized people solve problems, Mr. Alms. And what do you suggest? The alternative. Ah, that. Then let us recite the keys. Agent Burns, place your hand on the barrier. Watsan, Burns, Octanar, and Alms place their hands on a point of the barrier. Octanar and Alms chant in unison. By the chill of the crypt, by the cold of the ground, by the laws of the duel, we shall be bound. I'm guessing there's a skip option in case you had to go through this again, because you died and didn't save, because this is an extremely long cutscene, even for this game. A nice reading. But you shouldn't pause on the end of duel. When you do poetry, you're supposed to keep going when there isn't any punctuation. Silence. Just trying to help. What does this grease thing mean? Geese. Oh, the flying things, right? No. What this means is that the loser of our duel must yield to the will of the winner. I thought we weren't doing a duel. It's not a magician's duel. It is the alternative. Octanar turns to Alms. Let us away. Brace yourself. What? And the 4 vanish in a puff of smoke. Enter the passage. Well, there's plenty of time to save now, so I don't know what the deal is with the one skippable cutscene. Maybe it's a leftover from beta testing. A little blurs for Burns, and she woozily staggers about. Most people find their first teleport disorienting. Suddenly he grabs Burns, who totters on the edge of an endless void. What's going on? Her blurred vision slowly resolves into focus, and she jumps back from the edge. Where are we? Clatter of plastic on wood echoes from the distance. Fluorescent lights shine on the polished floor. Yes, this is the alternative, the duel for non-magicians. A bowling alley? The bowling alley of the Elder Ones, hallowed ground. At the ends of the nearest 2 lanes, white pins rise from the floor. That is our cue. He forms a cloud of fire in his hands and carefully shapes it into a sphere. Wait, it is time to bowl. And that's the end of file 2. Our disk 3 password is pins. And you get this really cool cosmic bowling scene. I love how everybody's just a couple of rectangles here too. It's extremely abstract. Oh, David, you've never played this game? This is like one of the best and like extremely high quality. And each file has art by a different person. This one is Nader. So it's all going away. And now the title screen finally makes sense on the very last board. Yeah, there's musical. The first file has got a bunch of songs. Okay, file 3. Oops. Hello, last on the boat. It's just a custom Twitch HUD. I kinda ripped apart, and there's some site for doing stylized Twitch chat that you can just use browser embeds for. And that's how the sidebars work. And then the HUD is all just carefully cropped portions of the DOSBox capture being drawn elsewhere on the screen. Okay, so let's get into file 3. I believe our password was pins. I didn't pay attention. They're all bowling related. On with the show! After seemingly endless frames of suspense, the duel draws near its close. Octanar prepares to make the first bowl of the final frame. Octanar picks up a bowling ball from the ball return. Eight pins topple as the ball smashes through their ranks. A 7-10 split. Not good. Octanar walks back to get another ball as the pin resetter removes the fallen pins. Octanar intently strides up to the lane, swinging the ball back and forth. Can he do it? Not at all. Oh, because Watsan there decided to yell. I certainly hope you were not trying to distract me. There was a rock in your shoe? Yes, that's it. Can't be helped, I guess. It's Watsan's turn now. Watsan forms a ball of fire in his hands. Ouch. Fireball fizzles out in the gutter. There was a rock in my shoe. Serves you right. Watsan removes the pebble from his shoe and molds another fireball. 7 pins clunk to the ground. Is there any way we can back out now? No, if we break the laws of the duel, we'll be trapped in magic spheres of containment. That's harsh. It's obligatory, but we can still win. At 371 to 400, I need to score 3 strikes in a row, and even then, Alms couldn't hit a single pin. He has a perfect strike record. No, he missed that one back in the first frame. He was laughing at Wassan's shot. That doesn't count. Well, Miss Burns. Okay, here goes. Oh, and it's a cliffhanger. Because we are back on Earth at the Waits Hotel. Meanwhile, Cleedle and Jansen absorb the atmosphere and alcohol of a lavish costume party in the ballroom of the Waits Hotel. And most of them are dressed as animals. It shows their lack of, that divine spark of intellectual what's name. Creativity? Yeah, that's it. Creativity. Drink makes you voluble. Sipping a gin and tonic, I like that. And mean. Really, Mr. Cleedle? Oh yes. I could knock out the man who looked at me funny. Rolls up a sleeve, exposing a wiry arm. All muscle. If I may be abrupt, Mr. Cleedle, you seem to engage quite frequently in such activities without the impetus of alcohol. What? No, I use a blackjack when I'm sober. As on our unfortunate candidate. Don't look at me like that. I didn't know who he was, and nobody would let me in without ID. I needed to lend my intellect to the problem. I'm a conceited citizen, I care. And why, Mr. Cleedle? You never appear at the party rallies. I would know. You seem to act independently. That's because I do your dirty work. You don't know it, but I do the really nasty stuff. It's all okay, though, because they're evil, you know? The means justify the ends, I mean. So I really don't remember that this game really doesn't portray Cleedle as a good guy. And just the more you learn about him, the worse of a person he seems to be. I see. They have no right to exist. It's like, you can't have science if you have them. They have no place in an ordered universe. They're Dark Ages things, and they want to drag us back. You resent this? Yeah, they took my job. I was respected, you know? I knew everything anybody knew worth knowing about the universe. The lecture circuit, TV specials. People liked me, you see. But you can't have scientists and reasonable people. Such as yourself? Right. If you have magic. It's a domino thingy. If you say magic can break the big laws, then they aren't laws anymore. Cleedle gulps down another gin and takes a deep breath. We could have had the stars, and now we're going to have demons and flower fairies. They stole the stars. They stole fire from the gods. We're the gods, and they stole our fire. And they're making little balls out of it. Stupid, stupid little... Cleedle drops his glass and passes out on the floor. Jansen sighs. Back to our room, Mr. Cleedle. A hooded figure, whirling about the dancers, turns and watches the two leave. Then, turning to his dancing partner, leans on his scythe and speaks. I can't understand why they let him come to the party. He did some good for them, I suppose, but they were on the point of suing him. You know this how? It's all about contacts, and the fortunate mule-headedness of one's opponents. A man in a bear mask whirls closer to the two. What are you dressed as? Death. With a red mask. If they were out of others. It's a good costume. Do you know who he is? Probably some protest bigwig, aside from that scientist Metterklume. Everybody here seems to be some kind of important politician. It's really fun, you know, to see these people in a non-professional capacity. I wouldn't know. Back in space. Bowling instructions. Playing as Burns, he must score 3 strikes in order to win. Furthermore, Hans must not hit a single pin. To bowl, push the arrow button in the control area in the lower left. This will fire a bullet upwards from the button. If the bullet hits the aiming bar, Burns scores a strike, otherwise Burns loses. Save now. Here goes. Alright, so it's just a matter of timing. Burns picks up a ball from the return and takes the shot. All 10 pins clatter to the floor. Strike. Oh, well. Ball smashes into the pins, dropping 9 of them immediately. The last pin spins about on its base like a top. Come on, come on. Stop swaddling. Oh dear. Victory is impossible. The field of force that separates Alms and Watt Sand from Burns and Octanar drops. Best 2 out of 3? Rules are rules. You must submit to our will or face the penalty, producing a notebook and some pen. First, I command you to write the details of all major protest party operations in this notebook. Forget it. No, do it. He is cut off as spheres of energy envelope him and Burns. The fields shrink to marbles, and the two are trapped in tiny prison spheres. And this, sir and madam, is what happens when you fail to fulfill the obligations of a duel. I don't suppose they can let us out of these things. That is quite impossible. Botheration, I have a crick in my neck. At least the property tax is low. Okay, well. Let's try that again. Second shot. There we go. Okay, final one. Hooray! That was the easy part. Impressive. Lucky. Loms extinguishes his pipe and gestures with it towards the scoreboard, and the number is 401 to 400. Futile. I only need to hit 2 pins, and the victory is ours. Loms forms a fireball in his hands. Observe. He flings the fireball into the gutter. Why? I do not need 2 shots to hit 2 pins. I see no reason to lose any time aiming the first. Loms forms a ball of fire in his hands and strides forward, preparing his final shot. I'd better do something fast. And I mean, it looks like it's a cutscene, but you can still access your inventory. Which is apparently just a way to throw a rock. Burns fumbles in her purse, pulls out the flat rock, and flings it to the ground with a clatter. What was that? He slips and the bowling ball thuds neatly into the gutter. Dropped my rock. How clumsy of me. Alms wheels about and faces Burns. You have cheated and broken the geese. You distracted a player. As Wassan did on Octonar's turnabout is fair play. Alms, look at the scores. I am aware, Watsan. You must submit to our will, or face the penalty. Hardly, it was not a fair match. True, and you broke the rules first. Obey the geese and tell me. Where is Sartorio? Alms, tell him. It will do him no good. The geese does not. Green spheres of energy form in the void and envelope Alms and Watsan. They shrink down to the size of marbles, trapping the two sorcerers in globes of force. Bind us. Containment spheres. You knew the penalty, Alms. Let us return now, Miss Burns. We have won the duel. Octonar and Burns fade away in a shimmer of blue light. Here's a state of things. There must be a way out. Every curse has a counter curse. Deduce the way out. Use those powers which you become so. Watsan. Yes, yes. I am a marble. Don't expect much. Okay, yeah. I thought you were going to pick the gun from the inventory, but it was just the ammo that the game kept giving and taking away like that. So I guess I can instead just shoot. And the coding still lets me do this as well. I wonder if this is going to just play the rest of the cutscene. Or I guess not, because I guess all the objects disappeared. You can also distract with gunfire. Anybody standing inside the porter booth of the Trippyville Funhouse would have been very startled when Octar and Burns rematerialized. First there would be a whoosh of inrushing air, followed by a sharp pop. Then a light show like glitter falling through the water would blaze before the startled observer's eyes. Finally, as Burns and Octonar appeared, they would appear to be stretched in about 5 more dimensions than any sane universe should contain. This last part wouldn't be seen by the observer, of course. The observer would be sticking to the walls, as anybody who's played Quake can tell you, 2 people cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Observer or no observer, here they come now. Yick. There's something sticky on the walls, and bits of grey rope. They need warning lights on their porters, or an incoming siren perhaps. Kids, only you can prevent telefrags. Octonar and Burns step out of the booth. So I suppose we just walk into the funhouse? There are not as many guards now at night, so... hide. They duck behind the porter booth. Burns draws her laser pistol and peeks around the corner. Somebody's coming. I always really liked this picture. It's really good. There's the man of the hour. That's Sartorio. A man in evening dress marches out of the funhouse, followed by rows upon rows of necrotic creatures. Sartorio. Burns draws her pistol, but Octonar stops her movement. We can never fight them all. Why is he being followed by gaunt things? That is the Reaper's 102nd, top of their class. Sartorio turns about sharply and faces the grotesque minions. They halt. Attention, present arms. The gaunt things hold out their arms, clasping their hands as if they were wielding baseball bats. Burns stifles a laugh. That's their arms, all right. It's not that. Watch. An array of wicked-looking scythes materialize on the hands of the Reaper things. Burns promptly loses her expression of amusement. Shoulder arms. They do so. Soldiers of Reaper's 102nd, my minions. When you arrive at Waite's Hotel, you'll be transferred to the control of a new Reaper Keeper. A man we will hypnotize to serve the party's every whim. Keep him safe, for his fate is tied to yours. Burns turns to Octonar and whispers sharply. The Waite's Hotel? Most of the senior members of the protest party are there right now. It will take the creatures some time to travel, even with a mass porter. I will try to deliver a warning. One of those wasname, you're my only hope things. While you are neutralizing the enemy, the Oberon release will begin. When you have completed your mission, the virus will have been scattered. Your success will ensure that no opposition remains to find or distribute the antidote. The 4-4. Release device... No, I think that's an extra word. The 4 release devices will be activated in 3 hours. And every human being from here to Pokahatopedal will be susceptible to hypnosis. Even the vaccinated? The purpose of the virus was to neutralize the vaccination. And I've got to destroy those things. You are dismissed. Meet your squad leader at the hotel. He will transfer control to our hostage upon its capture. I trust none of you will have any complaints regarding your leader if you wish to live. Who would Sartorio trust with this operation? Dismissed. Sartorio walks into the funhouse as the Reaper things march away. You've got to warn the party. Find a phone, call them, then get to the hotel and help with the defense. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Yes? The lines to Party HQ are going to be tied up for the next few hours. You won't be able to get through. When the Waits Hotel switchboards are down, you'll have to go in person. That seems kind of specific. Yes, I will return after the hotel has been secured, assuming I arrive in time to prevent its capture. Octanar steps into the porter booth. The connection to the area is down. Shoddy AOL. That's a joke that you don't get to make much these days. I must teleport to the closest functional booth and make a series of jumps until I can work my way to headquarters. I loathe connecting flights. Will it take you long? Yes, but the Reaper things cannot get there any more quickly. Farewell, Miss Burns, and good luck. Curses, I sounded heroic there. Octanar teleports away on the first leg of his journey, and Burns slips into the funhouse. 3 hours. Decision time! At the moment, John Cleedle is in his room at the Waits Hotel, sleeping off the effects of one too many Waits Lime Tequila head boomers. He is unprepared for an attack by the ESP, and Jansen may not be able to protect him. In short, he needs a bit of help, which you can supply, acting as a puzzle-solving adventure gamer. On the other hand, Burns is about to walk into a keenly executed trap, face her nemesis Sartorio, and attempt to shut down the 4 Oberon blower devices. Not necessarily in that order. The action could get pretty intense, so your help would be appreciated there as well. But you can't be in 2 places at once, so I have to choose between playing the chapter as Cleedle and playing as Burns. The choice is between puzzles and action, respectively, and is entirely up to you. So this is the branching point. Chapter 5 is the final chapter, and there's 2 versions of it depending on who we're going to play as. And we'll end up playing both of them, but I'm going to leave this to a vote, and also take advantage of stream delay and voting to get a drink of water. So I'll be back momentarily, and everybody make sure to say if you want Cleedle or Burns. Okay. It looks like Cleedle and Puzzles is the overwhelming winner, which is good because it would have been my first choice as well. And I want to make one quick check of something. Ignore the popped up Cav Edit window. I am definitely not about to count how many boards are left. Alright, I'm gonna keep playing, but I'm gonna stop the stream for just a second to make this an easy point to split the recorded video up at, because we've been going for over an hour already. So hang on one moment as the stream goes down.